Hey there, viewers. It's a Transformers fan or Charlie Young back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Age of the Primes, Wrecking Doom Collection, Spinister, and Topspin. Now, this is one of the 3 Wrecking Doom, 2-packs that we're getting. So essentially, they're combining the Legacy Wrecking Roll Collection and the Legacy United's Doom and Destruction collection. So we've got Wreckers fighting the main attack squad, which is pretty cool. So for this first 2-pack, we've got Spinister in his Marvel comic color scheme, and Topspin in his Diaclone color scheme, which is pretty cool. And for the box, well, the box is also pretty cool looking. So of course, we've just got a picture of the 2 fighting. Of course, we've got how many steps it takes to transform each one. Of course, we have the names right here. Spinister versus Topspin. The top, we still have the versus motif, which is, again, pretty cool. Each side, we just have each character. And the back got them in both modes. So here we have Spinister, along with his Target Master. So we've got Singe and Hair Splitter. Yep, Hair Splitter, not Shroot this time. And we got Topspin with Freeze Outs. I did not expect Freeze Out to make a comeback, but here we are. And that's pretty much it for the box. So, talking about the figures, well, I think we should start off with Spinister. Now, this is actually my first time having a Spinister, because I missed out on the Siege one, and honestly, I'm just glad that this guy was included in any sort of a capacity, because now I can complete the Decepticon double Target Masters. So we can see that this guy's color scheme is kind of different, and I'm pretty sure this is based on the comics, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. So looking at the color scheme, of course, it's the gaudy pink, the blue, bit of dark blue here. Got black rotor. So, of course, the rotor can spin. So that's pretty cool. And of course, one cool thing that this mold does is, in the robot mode, of course, he's pretty much got 2 helicopter cockpits for legs. Well, the vehicle mode only has 1. The second one is underneath. I guess that's a bit of kibble, but still. But looking at details here, you can see that the tail has the main attack squad symbol on it. It's kind of faint, but you can see it. On the other side, we do have the Decepticon symbol. So, yeah. And for accessories, well, of course, we've got the standard guns that came with the Siege version. So, yep. And of course, blast fit compatibility. But the main thing is we can just plug these on the... I'm not sure if these are called in helicopter terms, but of course these are the robot mode feet. We just plug in here. So he's all armed up now. That's pretty cool. And of course, new for this version, we actually do get Singe and Hair Splitter. Although I think these are just redecos of Neil Nose's Target Master partners. But still, the fact that we finally have these guys in the little recreation of the original toy style, I do appreciate that. So looking at I think this is hair splitter. Like, this is Singe, this is hair splitter. So they actually got the name back, because for a while they had to call them Shroots. That is I hate that name. But I guess, seeing how, like, I think Shroots also with the Sea Skywarp, and seeing how they're reissuing that, I guess this guy and Shroot can now be separate characters. So, but yeah, same color scheme as Spinister. So we got the purple, got the blue, some silver legs here, and of course, gun barrel can just flip out. I don't know, just gonna probably just more go for the robot. This will go more go for robot mode. But for Singe, well, he's black, got some blue legs there, blue face, and again, gun barrels can flip out. So yeah, and you can do a couple like combinations with them. So you can do that. Or you can do this. So yeah, I can do a couple things, because I think these guys are meant to be the evil fusion for Needle Nose, back when they were like his partners. So yeah. And speaking of, let's put them with the other Decepticon double target masters, because now we have all three. I mean, we did back when Quake came out, but now I pretty much have all three in my collection now, and honestly, they look pretty good together. Now, hopefully, get the Autobot ones one day, because come on, Scoop's been waiting since like last decade. So yeah, these guys look pretty good together. I mean, yeah, Quake's vehicle mode is kind of iffy, but still, I love how these look together. And overall, that's pretty much all I've got to say about Spinister in vehicle mode here. Overall, I love how this looks. Like, Spinister was already a really good figure, because I've got Rotostorm as well. So, yeah. No complaints here. I loved Spinister. Now, let's move on to one that I actually have the original figure of, and I love that thing. Topspin! Now, this is Topspin in his Diaclone color scheme. So, we got red, got some dark blue. Now, they actually kind of teased this with Twin Twist back in Legacy with the Rule Collection. So, we've been waiting like, what, 3 years for this? So, it feels nice to finally get Diaclone Topspin. Now, will we get Saltman X or whatever? I don't know. Kind of doubt it, but that would be cool, but I do doubt that. But to get like Diaclone Jump Starters and Generations is kind of cool. Plus, I freaking love the Times of Time Jump Starter molds, especially the Topspin, because I have had this for years. Well, I've had the original figure for years, and I just love this mold. But looking at this version, of course, we've got the red here for most of the figure. Cockpit is in blue. Got a small Autobot symbol here in the wing. Got a little nub here in the wing, which I'm pretty sure is meant to be for a Titan Master, but I'm sure you could repurpose this for like a Blast Effect port. No, it's a bit too small, so that's more the standard Titan Master on. But of course, with the boosters here, which just predates Siege, so don't have any ports here to plug in Blast Effects. Underneath, you can pretty much just see the chest here, but But anyway, let's get this guy his accessories. So we got these two guns here, done up in gunmetal. So what we do here, and you can plug them into these ports here on the legs if you want, but what I like to do, got these little bits under the wings, these ports here. So just plug them onto the wings, and there we go. If I can get this one's not cooperating with me. There we go. So, as the guns, of course, again, this predates Siege, so no boss fight compatibility, but what we do have is Titan Master compatibility. So, here we have the Titan Master. And they actually called him Freeze Out after the original Titan Master for Topspin. And I guess why not? Let's quickly bring out the original Freeze Out, if I can do that. Pretty much stuck in there right now. There we go. So here we have the original Freeze Out. I can see that the Age of the Primes figure is actually a bit more painted. Like, they actually painted the face. Whereas the original Freeze Out, yeah, the face was just blank. So they actually did bother to paint the face here, which is amazing. Of course, the faces on the back is the same, just differently painted, but we can see that this guy's actually got some more color, because the legs are blue. So, yeah. I kind of like how they're still doing, like, Titan Masters after all these years, because we've got a new Freeze Out, we've got, I guess, a Diaclone color Flame Out in Legacy, we've got Locos and Squeeze Play, we've got Fangry and his one, I can't remember his name, in the Buzz pack. We've got Horrible and his one in the new Age of the Primes 4-pack. We've got Chronivac's one, which I'm going to review next. So, Titan Masters are still a thing, which I quite like, because it's fun to collect a bunch of these little guys and just swap the heads around. Because that was the intended play pattern of Titan's Return. But anyway, you just sit this little guy in here. Close up the cockpit, and he's just seated in there now. So, yeah. And of course, we can put this guy with twin twists. So we got our Diaclone jump starters. And they look really good together, like, seriously. The fact that we've just got Diaclone jump starters now and Chug, come on, that's amazing. I would like them to do, like, Saltman X and Saltman Z, if I'm pretty sure that's the name, like the Saltman decos, but that might not happen, but still, this is really cool. Especially because I think Twin Twist, like the original deco, was pretty hard to get. So, this might be how most people get Twin Twists. So, yeah. And let's put in with the original Topspin. Now, I have had this for absolute years. Like, I don't think Siege was even out when I got this guy. So we can see the differences in the deco. Like, the Autobot symbols on the wing instead of the front here. We don't have the little stripe on the wing here. The guns are a different color. Like, they're a bit darker on the Age of the Primes one. Of course, the red is the teal blue. So, yeah. And finally, let's put these two next to each other. Because, of course, the two packs meant to imply that they're, like, fighting each other. And honestly, I do like this pack. I kind of prefer, like, the Carnivac and Iron Fist one, but this is still pretty cool. Now, how did they look in robot mode? Well, let's start off with Spinister. Because, of course, this guy's... Well, I say this guy's transformation is pretty clever, but Topspin has got a really cool step in his as well. But let's start off with Spinister's transformation. So, Spinister's transformation is actually kind of clever. Because, of course, like, we have to give him two helicopter cockpits. But like, there are some bits that I also quite like, which we'll get to soon. But anyway, to start, I'm just going to fold up the helicopter landing gear here. this foot, I'm just going to move forward, open this up, and then the entire cockpit, I'm just going to flip around, close this, spin around the foot, and tab that, and move that down, and then lift the entire leg up, and then on the hip joint, just spin all that down. So we've got one leg done. Then, so the other leg, just going to try and get that untied from here. There we go. Close up the panel. Try and get the foot untabbed, spin it around, move it down. And then just rotate the entire hip 90 degrees. There we go. Then we just rotate the waist like so. Open up the entire bit with the rotor. All this will move up. And then the entire tail is just going to collapse to form its chest. The rotors are just going to fold up into a V shape. Like so. Then the arms are just going to move down. So we just undo the elbows and just move them down. And here we have Spinister and robot modes. And my phone's not working. Anyway, for Topspin, I bloody love this transformation. So we just get freeze out of here. So the back section, we're just going to move that down, fold up the landing gear, get the feet down, split the legs, and just pull the legs down. There we go. And then this entire bit's just going to close up. So that's the legs done. Next, we're just going to spin the waist around. The arms, just going to get them out of this little crevice here. So we're just going to get the arms out. Open this panel, fold up the arms. Get the hand out. Close this panel back up. So again, open this panel. Coordinate out the arm. Get the hand out. Open up the cockpit. These forks, I guess. Just gonna fold up into here. Along with the landing gear. And then my favorite step. This whole torso section is just going to rotate around. And then that just tabs in. And then an extra step I do, these little like shin pads are just gonna come outwards. And of course, with this being a times 10 figure, he needs his head, so we take freeze out, break his legs so he becomes a head, and head on, which on this figure is actually kind of difficult. Oh, there we go. Although, rather unfortunately, it's one of those ones where the head joint is kind of weird, like, see that? Like, it kind of, he's a bobblehead, essentially. Which is weird, because my other Topspin doesn't do that. So what I do, is I attach the head on sideways, and that mitigates the problem. So, yeah, quick tip. If your Titan Masters are having that bobbling head issue, attach the head on sideways, and that normally fixes it. But anyway, here's Topspin. And here are the two in our robot modes. And honestly, yeah, that's an issue I have with Spinister. The rotors are kind of loose, but honestly, these two look really good together. Like, I honestly really like this Wreck and Doom collection thing, which I'll talk about more at the end, because let's get more into Spinister. And I think Yeah, I am definitely certain this is more the comic color scheme with the blue arms and the dark blue leggings and all that. But I still really like this color scheme. And you can see just how the transformation works there. Like if you want, you can fold the rotors down, just leave them as no. You can leave them as normal rotors if you want. You can leave them down, or as intended, you can just leave them up like so. So they are quite loose on mine, which is kind of annoying. But anyway, looking at the head, of course, that's Spinister's head. Like, remember when Rose-Storm came out, like, the pictures? He was using his head before the actual toy had a different head. That was weird. But, anyway, of course, we're just pretty much being a one-to-one redeco of a Siege figure. We've got some of the stuff that we don't get nowadays, like the little weird ports everywhere. Like the weird pimples. Because, of course, in Siege, that was so you could plug in a blast effect and make it look like someone's shooting him. Although, here it's not really attaching on. There we go. So you can pretend he's getting shot in the arm or whatever. That's something that they don't do nowadays. Like, figures now just don't have that, and I don't know why. Because they've kept the blast ports on the arms and all that. Well, most figures have, but they just got rid of the little nubs everywhere to plug in blast effects, which I don't get. I guess it was kind of an eyesore, but I don't know. But anyway, of course, the accessories. Well, we do have these two guns, but honestly, of course, the main thing is Singe and Hair Splitter. And well, you can sort of see what I mean by it's just a redeco of Neil Nose's partners. So, yeah. But still, what we can do, flip up the barrels, have them hold them. And I don't know these, maybe shoulder or something. Okay, that doesn't fit. There we go. Yeah, these can just be like shoulder mounted guns or something. Because, like, that's the whole point of Siege. You just plug guns wherever you wanted. So, I might display it like this, honestly. Sort of like, it's kind of like Vortex with his little shoulder things. So, that's what I might do. Yeah, that's a cool look. And of course, if I quickly give the other two their partners, here he is with the other Decepticon double target masters. And honestly, it always feels nice when I complete like a subset of figures, like the Trigger Cons, for example, or in this case, the Decepticon double target masters, or the Aerial Bots, which will hopefully be soon, or the Constructicons, which again, hopefully soon, one day. But yeah, like these guys look really cool together. I mean, Quake does kind of stand out because one of his partners is blue instead of black, but still. Now, hopefully, one day we'll get the Autobot ones because, I mean, we do have Scoop from like 10 years ago, but we've never had a new Landfill or Quick Mix, and I actually do kind of like the Autobot ones, so hopefully one day. But yeah, these guys do look really good together. And of course, blast effect compatibility, of course, with the old siege guns, but also with these guys. And of course, there's ports wherever you want as well. So shoulders, forearms, two in the back if you move the rotors out the way, legs, feet. So what does upcoming Junkions next year? It's honestly a good thing that they're keeping these ports. So yeah. Now for the articulation, well, head can go side to side, can look up and down. Of course, the shoulders can move. Double jointed elbow there. Bicep rotation, if I can actually get it to move, there we go. You can T-pose. Oh, bit of a loose fit there from head splitter. But there is a wrist rotation there. Waist rotation. You can kick that high. Standing knee, not as cool as sideways is, but So there at the thigh. You can do the splits. Really good ankle pivot. The foot can swivel. And that's about it. So yeah, typical like posing that we get these days. Like, I mean, he's from Siege. Like, Siege invented the modern style of posing where we have like waist swivels and angles in every figure. Which for Topspin came from before that time. So we'll see in his articulation, he's not really as posable as Spinister, but only like slightly less posable, because this is still a really good figure. So of course, as I said, this is the Diaclone colors, which, I mean, come on, this looks really cool. And plus, seeing how we've got Twin Twist back in Legacy, again, we completed a subset, the Jump Stars in the bloody Diaclone colors. So, yeah. But anyway, and of course, it's the typical, it's time to time Topspin, so we got all the standard stuff there. Like, we still have the all-about symbol there in the wing from vehicle mode. We've got a port there if you want to plug in a stand. We do have some ports here, but that was just from vehicle mode. Looking at the head, it's actually better painted than the original, because, well, if I bring in the original Topspin Titan Master, well, it's kind of hard to hold him up to the camera without my hands getting in the way. Like, it's missing a bit of paint there at the top, but they do look quite good there. The visor is a bit of a lighter paint, and there's a bit of paint chipping on my old Topspin there, but And of course, if you want to kind of swap the heads around, so you can do that. And plus, seeing how this is times 10, the guns can do a couple of things. One of which is not blast effect compatibility, but oh well. But we can do a couple things, like you can normally hold them, but one thing that we can also do is combine them. If I can actually get them fully combined, there we go. Again, take freeze out off. And now we've got this cool, I guess, ride for Titan Masters. So if you have like another Titan Master, then, well, if I can get him to hold this, so you can get a Titan Master to ride the gun, which is something that Titan always did, whether it was a gun with a, I guess, a bathtub in it, or they can combine. So yeah, this is a thing that they could do. But I just have him holding the guns normally. Although it seems that I've permanently bonded the guns together in doing so. Come on. Well, that was generally scary. I thought I was going to break it, but anyway, of course, he can also just hold the guns normally. And he's dual wielding, which is really cool. Like both figures are actually dual wielding. So yeah. And of course, with Topspin, if we put him next to Twin Twist, so we've got both Diaclone color jump starters together now, which these guys look really good together. So yeah. Again, I love Assault Man X redeco, but And of course, let's put him with the original Topspin. Just so you can see how they've changed the deco around. Like, the little chest bit there is no longer painted, but they have painted some extra bits there. Robot symbol's not a record symbol. So, yeah. Plus, they actually called the Type Master Freeze out, which was this guy's name. Whereas with Twin Twist partner, he just wasn't named at all in Legacy. So, nice attention to detail there. And finally, the articulation. So, of course, well, if I can get the Titan Master fully in. Head can look side to side and can sort of look up and down. In fact, for Frieza himself, something I forgot to show earlier, he can point forward. Arm can fully go up. He can sit. He can do this, and that's about it. The legs are fused together, but that's it for Freeze-Out articulation. Now for Topspins, of course, he can look around, side to side. He can look up and down. Arms can move. You can T-pose. Elbows can move up to there. Bicep rotation. Wrists. I don't think so. So no wrist. There's no wrists. But there is a waist. So the waist can rotate. You can kick. In fact, trying to do that, actually, this could be an ab crunch. Well, it's a bit of a transformation, but that could be an ab crunch if you really wanted it to. So, unintentional ab crunch, but anyway, can kick forward. You can kick back. Legs. Yep. And you can kind of break his knee, which is an issue on all versions of this mod that I've got. These legs are sort of loose, but they're not floppy loose. Like, they're just really easy to move. Like, there is a swivel here at the shin, and there's nothing at the feet. There's no tilt. So yeah. And putting these guys together, honestly, they look pretty good together. So yeah. Now, which one is my favorite? I think, just out of bias, I've got to go with Topspin, just because I've got the original figure, and I love that figure. But Spinister is also really good. But anyway, for my complaints with these guys, for Spinister, I don't like how loose the rotor can be. Like, I'm pretty sure normally, like, you're meant to press it to have it click into place, but here, it tends to go off to one side like this. So that's kind of a nitpick. I also find that, like, the non-vehicle mode cockpit tends to come untangled quite easily in vehicle mode, which is kind of annoying. And for Topspin, same issues as the time return one. So, like, the leg issue here, but also you have to put the Time Master on sideways, or else, like, his head will be kind of, like, floppy and loose. That could just be on my one, but still, do I recommend this set? Absolutely. This is a really cool set. Like, come on. Marvel Marvel colored Spinister, Diaclone colored Topspin. Like, come on. Although this is my favorite set out of the three. I think that one has to go to the Cornerback and Iron Fist one, which I am going to review that one next. So, yeah. This has been my review on Age of the Prime's Wrecking Doom Collection, Spinister, and Topspin, and this is a Transformers fan signing off.